Hello everyone. Now let's discuss another topic, that is voting behavior. So, how much ever the elections are happening, it is equally important where you have to hold certain behavior, certain kind of dignity when you are voting. So, the first thing is voting behavior is basically how and why should people vote, particularly in such a way, not in any other way. So, there is a particular study with regard to only this voting behavior, that is psephology. It is a branch of political science where people will be studying about how and why should people know. Okay? And what is the significance of voting? So, I have divided them into 5 points. The first point is the normal common people will get to know how actually the politics work and what things we have to consider while we are voting and what things we should not consider while we are voting. And other thing is like the to show the acceptance of democracy. Basically, when the democracy itself, the word that ki we are free from other persons, the country people, we are independent, that is the thing. But independency doesn't mean only in the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha, but independency and the democracy is the word where people are the one who has to understand what is the real meaning, and they have to be participating in that thing, so where people can accept and participate in democracy, and the bridge between them will be standing as the voting behavior. And the third point is this ballot box, where the power of ballot box has much more control for this voting behavior. I'll tell you, like now, let's say the ballot box is not happening secretly, but every people is like voting. So then there is like very major chances that people might think, or the election commission officers or the ordinary people think that the elections are happening very illegally. So at that time there will be no point of democracy and there will be no point of any kind of conducting elections. So certain behavior which has to be happening only certain way is much more important, and this is also one of the significance. And fourth point is shows continuity or change in electoral politics. Now, if the voting behavior is so perfect, so then what happens? The people will be getting so much of confidence on the democracy and also the political system. If the elections are not happening very properly, so then the connection towards the people will be reduced. And fifth point is indicates levels of political development. Like initially, the traditional voting methods are basically we used to write it in papers, but now it has changed that point. And there's a particular person, his name is NGS Skinny. He has its own meaning for this voting behavior, and then that meaning is he means voting behavior is a political participation, the act of decision making, the link between the citizens and the government. Okay, and what are the determinants for voting behavior? Now, what is the meaning of this determinants? Determinants is basically on what basis people will be getting influenced to vote this person or to not vote this person. On what factors people are understanding the terms and on what basis they are voting. So there are a list of things. The first thing is based on the caste. We all know Indians are the person who is like vote candidates based on caste friendly, even either the candidate of that person or either the party of that format. And the other thing is like religion. There is many kinds of communal discrimination is going on in themselves only, such that they will be voting based on the religion and based on the language. Let's say TDP. In TDP, most of the people are Andhra people. So, of course, TDP will be getting more votes. So, that thing. And the other thing is like region. Let's say you are a Hindu and I am a Hindu and I'm participating in the political elections and you're not participating, you are the voter. So, you'll be definitely voting me because I am Hindu. That thing is there. And the other thing is like basically personality of the leader. If the person feels like they are having the more charming and they are having a more kind of leader behaviors, so then they also might be voting. Example is Narendra Modi ji, sir. And the other thing is like based on money. Many of the persons, when especially when the sarpanch, the rural elections are happening at that time, most of the people you know sends that liquor, money, or any kind of advantageous things that were happening that can be given. So, money is also one factor, and the other ruling factor is the performance of the ruling party, and this is the most important thing because let's say now BJP is there, and BJP is working so hard and it has fulfilling all the promises that it has made. So then when people are seeing that acha they have made these promises and they are fulfilling these promises, so then there will be a trust building can be happen. So based on that also the elections results will be discovered newly. And the party identification, there will be emotional loyalty, such as basically some party is there which will be very ancient party, which is like well known party, well known recognized party. Because of that also the election rate and election increases for them. And the ideology one, what a particular political party is following. Let's say any kind of XYZ party is following some kind of communalism, socialism, or secularism, and if these voters are attracted to that, then they will be voting. But for the God's sake, only this few voters are in such a number, not the many persons. And the other factors would be any kind of wars, camps, or leaders' death, inflammation, unemployment, age, gender, education, rural, urban, media, family, caste network, election campaigning. So I have made it this shortcut. If you can feel like this is like okay and this is like understandable, so then you can use this code. And the other thing is like what is the role of elections, what is the role of media at the time of elections. And this is like most important at the time of elections. This media helps so much for the election commission of India. And the first thing that which it will be helping is basically, if any kind of violence happening or any kind of last minute changes are happening at the time of polling, or at the time of results, or at the time of choosing the candidates dates announcement, this media will spread the information very quickly in a very transparency form. So there will be no illegal things can be happening in the media. And the second point is like at the time of enforcement of MCC, models of code of conduct at the time of any kind of power, money power, muscle power, or hate speeches. This media is the one who will be standing and sending or spreading the information very quickly. And the compliance with election laws. So basically there are certain kind of rules and acts that which are made at the time of this election laws. The first thing is like section 126 RP Act, 126A RP Act, 127A RP Act, 171 HIPC. So it has their own meaning which media should follow. Like no campaigning in the last 48 hours, media. Ban on exit polls during polls. Printers and publishers details are mandatory at the time of the printing or doing that billboards. And the fourth one is like unauthorized election advertisements are not accepted. And the fourth point is voter election, voter education. Basically there are if any kind of elections are happening in the rural areas, most of the rural areas have not that so have not having that much of idea about what the elections and how the elections are going to be happen. So they will be giving a clear information with regard to the EVMs and polling stations and voting rights, and how it is important, like how voting is important, every detail will be given. And the fifth point is like the role of government media, where Doordarshan provides free airtime to political parties. Let's say a political party want to advertise in TV. So how much time they have to advertise and in which time they have to advertise will be determined by them only. At the time also the media will be helping to the government itself. So these are the points that which we have covered, and hope I have covered each and every point. Thank you so much.